Won't you take me home? Give me with you.
This is a review of the LEGO Lighting Set Electric 12 Volt, which is set number 7861. Like most other supplemental electric sets, the 7861 was released in 1980 at the beginning of the 12 volt era. Its production continued until the end of the era in 1993 to 1994. The set gave you the option to add lighting to engines, wagons, and stations. The set is fairly small, only containing 28 parts. First is the core of the set, 4 12-volt light bricks, and 4 28-stud long cables. The set came with both variations of the light bricks and several types of cables depending on when it was produced. In its initial release in 1980, it contained the older type of light brick with clear glass and 2 plug holes, and the cables had 4 1-pin connectors. In 1981, the light bricks were changed to the newer variant with frosted glass, which could accept 2-pin connectors with a middle pin, but the cables were not changed. Or in 1986, the cables were changed. The 4 wires with the 1-pin connectors were switched to 2 wires that had short 2-pin connectors with middle pins, and 2 wires that had long 2-pin connectors with middle pins. The version I have was released during the second generation, with newer light bricks but older cables. In addition to the electric parts, the set comes with light prism parts. Included are 2 red prism holders, 2 black prism holders, 8 transparent light prisms, and then 4 each of the red and yellow 1x1 plates. These parts can be constructed into 4 complete light prism parts, which can be installed in trains to add front and rear lights. This set is meant to be used as a supplement to existing engines and wagons to add light, such as in the 7730, where installing front lights is very easy. Placing a light brick behind a prism holder will illuminate the 2 lights in the front if the prisms are inside, because the design of the prism reflects the light through the holes on the sides. You can also put the light bricks in a wagon such as a passenger wagon or mail car to illuminate the interior. This is featured in a booklet which shows the wires running from the 7740's engine to its first passenger wagon and powering lights attached to the roof. However, the lights can be too far from the engine because the wires must be attached to the motor. In any 12-volt train, the motor is the way for power to get from the tracks to the train because it has metal contacts in the bottom. Plug holes enable wires to be attached which in turn power lights. Another possible use for this set is to create light posts if you have the other parts. The actual light post set, 7867, wasn't released until 1983, so one way to add lights here before then was to make light posts in design similar to 7867 using the light bricks from 7861. Light posts like this were also featured on the back cover art of 1980 train set instructions. You can also use the light bricks to illuminate stations such as 7822 or 7824, or even freight loading depots. If you're not using the lights in a train engine or wagon, they can be plugged directly into the transformer from the jack used for remotes, which is constant 12-volt direct current. Overall, there are many uses for this set. Like other electric supplemental sets released in 1980, the box of this set originally came with a styrofoam inner tray. To my knowledge, there was only one language variant of the box because it had all of the languages on the gray panel to the right. In 1989, the box was redesigned to be thicker and had different art. I'm not sure if the later box had an inner tray or not, but if it did have the inner tray, it was transparent plastic like the 7865 tray. The inner tray of the earlier box, which I have here, has a few compartments for the wires, lights, prism holders, and prisms plus 1x1 round plates. Interestingly, the set did not come with instructions in 1980. The instructions were printed on the back of the box. Instructions were produced during the later part of the gray era, one showing an example of the lights installed in 7725 and a release from after 1985 showing the lights installed in 7735. There may have been 2 or 3 different art variations for the instructions, and I think the instructions did come in language variants, so in total there may be as many as 6 to 8 total different variations for these instructions. Because I have an earlier release of this set, I do not have separate instructions with mine. Pricing for the set is pretty consistent, being around $30 to $40 for a used copy of the set in good condition including the box, and around $50 or upwards for a sealed copy. I believe sealed copies aren't that expensive because the set doesn't contain unique parts and many copies are produced. I actually bricklinked this set together, which means I bought the parts over several orders instead of buying a complete set, and then I bought an empty box. I'm not sure exactly how much I paid, but I think it was under $30 in total. I have a similar opinion on this set as 7865, the motor set, which I reviewed earlier. You should check out that review as well. It's a great set to have one or two of in your collection because you can always find a use for it, whether in station lights or to add to an engine or wagon. This concludes my review of the 7861. Thanks for watching. Subscribe if you found my review helpful or interesting. I'll take a break from the supplemental reviews soon to switch to more layout content, and the 7750 review is planned for sometime in the near future as well. I'll see you in my next video.
We can